What up, nerds? Something a bit different today. I got contacted by AIAIAI to ask if I wanted to have a go on their new TMA-2s. This is the wireless version, and it's a bit different because, like, obviously, if someone gives you something for free, it's going to make you feel more positive about them. So I don't know. They haven't actually said I can keep these, but they've given me to have a look at. If I ask them nicely, they might let me keep them. But yeah, I wasn't really that bothered because I've dealt with with the TMAs before, and I know that they're well made, so I don't have a problem pulling them apart and saying complimentary things about them because I know that they're good. Whereas if, I don't know, there are some other brands where you'd be a bit cautious because when you open them up, there's going to be horrors inside. But anyway, it's a bit hot in the pimp coat. I'm going to have to disrobe. Still in the full DJ garb. While I'm at it, just representing Philip Normal here, top guy, also the mayor of Lambeth or somewhere like that. Bit of a backstory. Back when the TMAs first came out from AIAIAI, we did actually have a load of them. We sold them, we made some custom ones, looked a bit like this. Did crazy things with them. They weren't overly happy because we kind of ruined their design aesthetic, which is beautiful. But I did always have a bit of a love for the original TMA ones. The thing that I didn't like is with the HT25s, these have always been user serviceable, so you can replace the cables, the headband, the pads, everything super easily. On the original TMA ones, they were not that user serviceable. They had a replaceable cable, but that was about it. And they had a bit of an issue with a couple of batches where there was something wrong with the manufacturing process with the headbands on the original TMA ones for a while, and they had quite a few snap after a while. And because it was all one unit, they basically had to replace the whole headphones. They were very good about it. I know a few people, Sam, Tiger Lightning, including one of them. I think he had a couple of pairs. And I were always super good. You just contact them and they'd replace the headphones. But it's not good headphones ending up in landfill, that kind of stuff. The TMA-2, when they came out, pretty impressive because they made it modular. You can actually remove the headband and the ear cups, and you can buy these separately. And then they went on to, they got crazy with the modular design, and they started selling all kinds of different pads. You could buy different drivers, different headbands, so it's really nice. What's good is you get an upgrade path. I'm really keen for headphones to be used for many years. So if you bought these, you're a DJ, using them for DJing, and then you start getting into music production, you can actually buy like nicer pads and nicer drivers and stuff like that, and then sort of build it up modularly. So it's nice to have an upgrade path and also make them user serviceable, which I think in some ways is better than that HT20. Like from a dismantling point of view, because you don't need any screwdrivers or anything to dismantle these. As you saw, you just pull them apart. This one, you need a T6 to get the headband cable off. That's not a major issue, but having an easily detachable cable would be nice on those. But the upgradability, there are other people that make bigger pads and things, but Sennheiser themselves don't do many upgrades for the HT25, whereas they do sell a few, and some of them are quite worthwhile having. When we were testing them, I got them here. Give me a moment. Is that them? Yeah. So these are the XE model. They do a higher one, the Pro, and they come with these big pads that go over your ear rather than on the ear. They also block out a lot more noise, and the difference in the sound going from these standard pads to these larger pads is quite noticeable. Like, these sound really, really good. If I was comparing these with the HT25s, it just comes down to personal preference. If I'm for DJing, they're both fine. For use out and about, they're fine. But popping these pads on really kind of takes them to the next level. They sound almost like a studio headphone. It's really good. Like, these have a very nice flat response. The way the pads seal against your ears has always been a bit of an issue for some people, whereas having these big pads as an option, it's really nice. Also got different headband. Look at that. So if you went for the Pro model, you get the comfort headband with a squishy. Other things we noticed when we were testing. Sorry, I will get these apart. It's quite interesting, and I'm quite excited. Other things we noticed, despite these being, 32 ohm, which you'd think would be pretty easy to drive, they don't have a very big sensitivity. I think they're 97 decibels, whereas the HT25s are close to 120. So it does mean if you're running it off a phone or something portable like that with the cable, you're going to need to turn the volume up a bit more than you may do on other headphones. We tested it against several other headphones, and they were, even the standard TMA-2s, the DJ version of the TMA-2s, these ones were significantly quieter at the same volume on the amplifier. Not sure why that is, but they had a much nicer frequency response for normal listening. The DJ version of these have quite punchy mids, which kind of helps you mix on the snare drum and the kick drum and that kind of stuff. So you can kind of hear that bleeding through in loud environments. Whereas these ones are a bit more balanced. So we did compare them to the standard TMA-2s, and these ones are probably closer to their studio ones. I think they do a studio version which has got a flatter response, and I think the drivers are similar in this one. Obviously you've got the Bluetooth circuitry and stuff like that in there. But anyway, sorry, I know that's not what you're here for. You want to see inside? I want to see inside. So let's get these bad boys apart and see what secrets they hold within. I have some basic tools here, and I'm trusting AIAIAI that this can be done easily. So start by removing the headband cable. They're just little twist lock 3.5s, which is nice, and they are marked with red there, and you've got red inside the right ear cup. I like that, the fact that it's all hidden away, because as you can see, the design of these, it's all beautifully stealthy and black, and ooh. So remove the headband cable. Apparently, I remember when the TMA ones came out, they were saying that they got the inspiration for this clicking mechanism. You see the holes in there from like crutches, medical devices, the way they clicked, and it does have quite a nice, satisfying little engagement on the click, which I like. I'll show you the mechanism inside. So that's pretty good. Let's take that off. So there we have the headband, and if you did want to upgrade or you had the Pro one, again it just slides on the same way, and it's all pretty straightforward and interchangeable, which is nice. Good repairability score, but also upgradability score. You can buy yourself so you buy the basic ones. You wanted the more expensive ones, you just buy the pads and the head. You can get the more expensive ones. It's nice. It's a nice little thing. You can do that on some other headphones, but it's a bit of faffing around going through the parts department. This one, you just go on their website and you can buy them. Just upgrade your own headphones. I really like that. Just gives it a bit more longevity, because with a lot of these things you'll buy the basic model and you're like, oh, I wish I'd bought the more expensive one, and you can just go up. I think these ones, I have to double check, I think these are 169 for this one. It's about 200 with the one with the bigger pads and the bigger headband, and after having a listen to them I would definitely go with the bigger pads. I think that they are a worthwhile upgrade and worth the extra 40 quid or whatever. I don't know. I live in a world where £40 pad seems reasonable, but you also obviously get the better headband. No, stop it. Let's just I'm not doing a sales pitch here. Let's just get into these. So removing the pads, nice and easy. They have this little popper mechanism that goes into these really nice little rubber jobbies in there. So they've got, again, it's a nice engagement. There's something, like, they look nice, but there's just something satisfying about the way they go in. And again, underneath, I like all the printing. You know, it's not white on black, it's like a gunmetal on black, and it's just subtle. It's totally the opposite of what I would design. I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff that I do, but it's generally quite offensive and bright and disgusting and tries to burn your eyes out. So it is, like, I'm envious. As a product designer, I wish I could design stuff that was all subtle and nice, and it's just not it just doesn't seem to come out. So underneath we have Phillips screws, which is nice, nothing unusual. So most people should have a Phillips screwdriver. We're just opening up the right, slightly less exciting ear cup, and then we'll move on to the Bluetooth one, which is, because I think it will probably have all the Bluetooth. I don't know, it's interesting. It's got a 3-pole jack on there. I'm wondering if it's got the battery. So they're about the same weight. Anyway, it'll be interesting. I'm wondering if it's got the battery and it runs the power through the headband cable. It's fascinating. Let's find out what on earth is going on here. Okay, so 3 screws and we're in. Ooh, no, there's a lot going on in here. In the right one. Okay, so here is our 32 ohm driver. Capped on tape covering the wires. Let's just extend that out. Oh, look at this. You can remove it, it's all plugged in. Like, I don't know if you can buy these parts easily, but again, replacing a blown driver, you could replace all of these pieces without soldering. So we've essentially got 3 screws out. We've got access to all the parts that you might might want to repair. Let's see. So that's the driver unplugged. No special tools. In here we've got the battery, which is replaceable. Nice. Because as we know, with lithium-ion batteries, they'll last, you know, maybe 3 years and then they'll start to degrade. So having an easily replaceable battery is good. Let's bust this open. Let's have a look. So yeah, there's more in this one than I imagined. Or is this the... I don't know, we're going to have to open up the other one and see what's in there, because it looks like most of the circuitry is in this one. So you've got the battery in there. Oh yeah, it's got the button on there. So this one might be the one with the... Oh, interesting. USB-C charging, which is nice. Most stuff's USB, you know, heading towards USB-C, so that will fit in with the new European directives. That's nice. And again, the USB-C socket is replaceable. It just pops out there. It's on its own little thing. So yeah, so if you bust a USB-C socket, you can replace that. Really nice. Nice. It comes apart relatively easily, I think. Right, so let's get this out. Ooh. What I really want is a flathead screwdriver or something to get in there. We'll take this apart in layers and then we'll have a look in the other one. So perhaps the other one hasn't got anything in? I don't know. I thought that the left one would be the one with the Bluetooth circuitry in. I don't know why I thought that. There we go. So that's the USB-C socket out. Battery, is that battery's just stuck down with double-sided tape, not glued in. No, see, Apple, this is how you do it. Right, should we go one more layer deep, just see what's going on under there. So this has got Bluetooth 5, which is nice. So you should have pretty low latency and decent sound quality, which is good. I haven't tried out the Bluetooth. I've only tried them out with a cable. I must give that a go. Might leave that to future Jason to have a go at and try and cut him in. So, hello, future Jason here. You can tell it's future Jason because this is what we wear in the future. You know, it's just how it is. I've been living with these for about a week and tried out a few things, made some calls with them, been running them wireless. And it was quite an interesting comparison running them from my phone, wired versus wireless. So wireless, you do lose a little bit of sparkle in the high end and a little bit of weight in there. So it's only fractional, but you can hear the difference and you do get slightly better sound quality running them with a cable than you do with Bluetooth. But that is fair enough. These are low power devices. They'll run for up to 40 hours. They can't, you know, probably put out as much power as a house brick phone like I've got there. And again, they scale really well, so if you plug them into a proper amplifier, that's when they really come alive. I reckon you could use these, you know, for some pretty serious home listening. They do sound pretty good. But wireless, you do lose a little bit something. But when you're using them wireless, you're going to be out and about, walking around. There's going to be background noise and cars going past and stuff like that, and you're probably not going to hear what you're missing as much. So anyway, back to past Jason. So you've got 2 screws by the jack socket. Give it a bit more strength around that region, which makes sense because that's where there's going to be a lot of force when you're unplugging things. It's just going to hold the socket down more securely. Alright, please come out now. Whoop, there we go. So we've got a little ribbon cable here which goes to the buttons on the back. You've also got microphone inputs here, so it might have a bit of noise cancelling, or it might be used for making phone calls. Let's have a look. What's that do? Blah, 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 blah. 40 hours playback. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you can take calls with it. Yeah. So interesting. So yeah, so you can use it with your mobile phone if you're that kind of person that wants to look like a mentalist, just talking to yourself or walking down the road. I don't want to break these. Let's get these other screws undone. Yeah, so looks like it's got 2 microphones wired in here. You know, I don't do a lot of wireless headphones. I've had apart quite a lot of the Bose headphones, and they are beautifully made inside, but they don't come apart quite as easily. They're like a puzzle box, trying to figure out how they all come apart, and they've got so many wires inside, like an unnecessary amount. Okay, so under here here's the little button, tactile switch under there. And then the microphones, looks like they are top and bottom. Sorry, yeah, so the microphone's facing forward to where your face is, and you've got another one facing backwards. So that might be for noise cancelling when you're on calls to block out background noise. I can see if I can see. Anything else interesting on here? So you got the LEDs and stuff on there, but yeah, so it's pretty straightforward. This main board would be difficult to replace because it's wire is soldered to the microphones and stuff, and as you saw, it doesn't come out that easily. But the bits that you are gonna need to replace, like the batteries, the driver, and the USB-C socket, are all socketed in, which is nice. So you can just remove those pretty easily. All right, so that's that. I'm not going to take that one apart anymore. We'll take this one open and I'll show you how the clicking mechanism works and stuff in there. I'm just having a look at the actual driver. It's glued in, so we can't get in much further. But some things that I'm noticing is you've got some damping material on the back here, which is nice. You see a lot of headphones that don't have any kind of sound absorption inside the cup. So that's a nice little detail there. There's their 32N driver, which again, as I said, it's surprisingly good sound quality. So they've got, what's it, biocellulose driver, which let's just cut to a clip of that. I don't know what that's supposed to show. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It looks like they've grown the fibers and then stuck them on. I don't know. Yeah, so it'll be like a mylar or something like that with this biocellulose as the central cone, which will give it a bit of rigidity, like the right amount of rigidity to produce the sound nicely. So they are nice. As I said, I've been out of the game with the AIAIs for a while, so I'm not sure what this means, but this is an S10 driver by the look of it, which I would have thought would be studio. Don't know. So I suspect these share the same driver as their studio headphones, just with the Bluetooth gubbins in there as well. Right, let's get into the other one, the business end of that. So again, twist lock, 3.5, jack, pads off, screws out. Look. All the screws are the same size. Again, nice. You know, when you're pulling stuff apart and you've got like 15 different flavors of screw, and you're like, oh god, are these all the same? I think they're all the same. Yeah, they all look pretty much the same. I can't see any difference. So when I go to put them back together, I'll discover there is. But yeah, looks like they're using all the same screws, which is another thing I like from a repairability standpoint. It just makes it a bit easier. Not worrying about getting the wrong screw in the wrong place. If they're all the same, happy days. So I am giving these, I think these are 9 or 10 on the repairability score wise. For a wireless headphone, they're really good. I think having these bits socketed is really nice. It's gonna keep the old longevity going. Ooh, what's this? Yeah, interesting. So again, there's some kind of circuit board in here. Looks like the ear cups are pretty similar left and right, which is going to be good from a tuning point of view because you can have the same kind of volume in each ear cup, which is going to make them sound the same. Because that's often the problem with these wireless headphones, because you'll end up with a battery and circuit boards in one and maybe not in the other one. They have a different volume in the ear cup and it makes the tuning slightly different and they sound slightly different left to right. So what they've possibly done to sort that problem out is add these little pucks of damping material, because in there obviously you've got a lot more material like the battery and stuff behind the driver. So these ones have got these little phone jobbies and obviously the circuit board that's in there. So that's quite interesting. Let's get this out. We'll have a look under here. There we go. Right, so that's that driver removed. So the driver without the circuitry has little foam danglers in there, which is nice. Okay, let's get the next layer off. Okay, have we got, there we go. So that comes out. Okay, interesting. Yep, I don't know. So I haven't opened up the TMA-2, have I? I have opened up the TMA-2s. No, I don't know. There's something weird going on with this board. But yeah, so there you've got the little board, which has got the headphone jack in, the main headphone jack in, and the headphone jack out that goes through the headband cable to the other side to where the Bluetooth jobby is. Interestingly, you've got left speaker plug, makes sense. You've also got an unpopulated one for the right speaker. I don't know what that would be used for. Maybe they've updated the design and the studio ones have a pass through, I reckon. No idea. Maybe it's for testing in the factory. Just you can probe on there and just make sure that it's working. But yeah, just interesting. The actual sockets probably not that easy to replace. They've got like a rubberized coating on them, which probably gives them a bit of shock relief. So when you jiggle the jobby around, it got a bit of support. But yeah, so I suspect if you broke a headphone socket on these, you could just replace this board, because again, it's just one connector in there that goes to the driver. So pretty easy to replace. All right, let's get deeper. I'm going deeper underground. Oh yeah, I missed this on the other one. So they've got these little sponge jobbies supporting they're just underneath the main board, which will stop it from potentially rattling in there, which would be annoying. Yeah, nice. So again, all the same screws. I like that. Oh, I feel it falling apart. Yeah, I guess I remember there's a trick to pulling these apart. I can't quite remember what it is. There's a certain order you have to do stuff in. Let's pull this base piece out, and you can see the base piece looks the same on this as it does on as it did on the other one. So you've got a little holder there where the battery would go. So these will be. Alright, so now inside. Okay, so if I remember correctly, it's got two parts that come out somehow. Oh, yeah. Ooh, this is where the spring in there is going to spring. Right, so interesting. I think they've changed the design of these since the TMA ones. I'm sure the TMA ones had a spring in. These ones don't seem to need a spring. So you've got these little jobbies that go in. They've got a rubber seal around the outside, and again sponge pieces in here to stop them from rattling. So nicely made. So the rubber's gonna seal on the inside, and then the spongy bit's gonna stop it from rattling. And then here is the little clicker that goes into the headband. I'm wondering. Yeah, I think. So I'm just trying to figure this out, but I think on the new ones they use this plastic part as the spring, because before they used to have an actual metal spring in there, and now what they've got is that just pressing on the back of this. So yeah, so the springiness of this plastic acts as the spring for the clicking mechanism. Should simplify disassembly and assembly, so it probably makes it easier to make in the factory, but it also makes it a bit easier if you pull it apart like me, because getting that spring back in used to be a bit of a nightmare. But yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, it's a nice little bit of design that they've just tweaked. Headband. So you've got the standard headband with both of these. It looks like if this cable goes, you've pretty much got to replace the whole headband, because it's all made as one unit. These won't come out. There's holes in there that the jacks won't fit through. The headband padding also does not look removable. So, you know, TMA3's replaceable headband padding would be nice. I remember on the old TMA ones, they used to have a bit of rubber and it was glued on. These ones looked like the original TMA1 headband, and I suspect they're still doing the same. Is this glued or is it taped? Let's have a look. Oh no, that's glued. I shouldn't have pulled that off. Yeah, so this pad is glued in place over the top of the cable. So again, it's not. If they'd done this with double-sided tape or some kind of clicking mechanism, I would have given them an extra point, because it would be nice if you could replace the head pads. Because with all headphones, the pads go eventually. You know, I want to see a headphone last 10 years. Let's say 10-year life, replacing the parts, and over the course of that 10 years, your head pad is gonna break down. I would have thought the old ones just had a rubber head pad which wouldn't have broken down, but this one with the fabric and the sponge, it's gonna eventually go crusty. I can tell, you know, they all do. And yeah, so I would have thought you're gonna get 4 or 5 years out of that, and then you're gonna have to replace the whole headband, if you don't mind, or cover it. You know, if you're being good to the environment, just recover it, tape it, something like that. You know, DJ headphones and work headphones always look cooler with tape on, let's face it. Just some fluorescent tape, I don't know. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame that they don't have replaceable headbands. I do like the embossed AIAI on the head pad, nice little touch. No one's going to see it because it's on your head. And unusually, you know, with their stealthy look, they haven't put their branding on the outside, I've just noticed. So that's quite interesting. Like, nowhere on this does it say AIAI. So you have to kind of be in the know. There's a lot of headphones that will shout about the brand that they are, but these are all about being subtle. And yeah, no branding. It's brave, it's bold. So overall, I like them. I like the design. I like the repairability. I'm really glad that they're as good as they are, because otherwise I would have felt like a terrible shill for accepting them being sent in. But yeah, obviously it's very nice of them to send it. Thank you very much, AIAI, and well done. You've done a good job. I really like the fact that you can replace the battery and you can replace the USB-C port. I'm going to check with them to see if you can buy these separately, but either way, it just makes it, if you're going to repair it, it makes it easier if you can get it out, solder that on. If you've got some solder skills, that'll be a jelly bean part that you can buy somewhere. That won't be too bad. And again, drivers are replaceable. I like the fact that they've thought about going from wired to Bluetooth by adding some extra damping material in one side to even out the response. I like the upgradability, because you can upgrade to these pads make so much difference. You know, like, pads make the most difference to headphones, and the difference between these and those is quite striking. Really, really worth getting these. Like, if you don't mind, it looks a bit bigger. You know, obviously it's. I like the way it just goes in. You see the edge of this? It lines up with the edge of the ear cup just to make it just. Oh, it's a nice thing. Yeah, because often the headband. The pads are a separate, you know, it's kind of a separate thing that some in the pads department sorts out, but you can see this is an integrated design where the designers have designed the pad and the ear cup. You know, it's quite, if you're flicking through a design catalogue and you go like, ooh, nice. You know, these, like, I don't want to, like, it's difficult because I don't want to feel like I've been bribed, but I've just always loved the design of these, and the way they've integrated the pad into the ear cup, it's just that, you know, shows that it wasn't an afterthought. They've properly designed it to work together, because obviously manufacturing these pads is quite difficult. You've got this plastic insert, they've got a little rubber seal there that seals against the driver. These are a relatively complex part, which is why I think the £40 extra that you pay with the headband and the pads is pretty good. I think that's quite reasonable. But yeah, these pads are an extension of the headphones. You know, they're not an add-on, they are. Yeah, it's nice. Sorry, design nerd, just nerding out on the design. So anyway, yeah. So, there's another video coming out sometime in the next couple of weeks where we actually do a test of a few different headphones, and these will be in there. Just because I got a music producer / DJ in to kind of go through a few headphones, and yeah. So if you wanna know the thoughts on the sound, you can probably for that, or just check out another review. I'm sure there's loads around. You know, I'm not really a sound reviewy type channel, but impressive. Like, with the big pads, impressive. With these pads, good. With these ones, impressive. Yeah. Bang for your buck, 200 squids. It's difficult because obviously you're getting the Bluetooth on these, which you don't get on a lot of other headphones in the range. HC25 retails about 130, so the basic version of these, with these and the thinner pads, is probably like, what's that, 30 or 40 pounds more. And I'd say that's pretty good. You know, you get the Bluetooth in there, that's nice. It makes them just a bit more usable. You can use them for your DJing, but you can also just use them walking around town, like the wireless, making calls and stuff. It's all pretty good, and they've used Bluetooth 5, which is nice. Yeah, it's really difficult because there's not a lot else that's like this, you know, like based on a studio quality headphone, but also with Bluetooth. There's a few that have got add-ons, like who is it? The Audio Technica ones and stuff. They've got little, but it's not a nicely integrated design like this. So it's difficult to say, but I'd say 200 quid. They sound £200. That's pretty good, and repairability very good. These are going to last you a long time. The only concern I have is with the head pad, but again, you're going to be 4 or 5 years, I would have thought, before that's going to become an issue. Yeah, so good. I like the way they're put together. They're nice. Having the replaceable battery and the socketed whatever that is, USB-C. It's really nice. The drivers just come out. So I've done all this without soldering. I've got it completely apart. I could replace most of these bits. The only bit that you couldn't replace is this, but you know, once you get that, it's not a lot to go wrong there. So yeah, so the main bits you're going to want to replace are probably the battery after a couple of years, and the little socket, because they tend to get yanked on. Yeah, you can replace all the head pads, everything. So really nice on the repairability side. Quality all seems very well made. There's loads of nice little design features. Like, you can tell that these are made by designers rather than like they've teamed up with engineers, but it's just like the way the pads fit together. Really nice integrated design. The feel when you pop in the pads, you can tell they've tried several mechanisms and they've gone for that nice secure fit with a nice feel. You know, if hi-fi mans, you know, they click in, but it's not a nice. You feel like you're going to break it, and that's the same on a lot of headphones. These ones just, they plug in nicely. Yes, it's a really good like design. Like they've gone for the holistic thing. They've designed everything. It's nicely done. It's nicely done. They've thought everything through. They've given it a nice feel, nice quality sound. Pretty good. Yeah, these are nice. I like these. I like them. I'm not a fan of Bluetooth. I think it's the work of the devil. But you know, that's because I design headphone cables. I'm bound not to be that into the wireless. But if I'm going to go wireless, I would definitely consider these. And if they let me keep them, I will have myself some wireless headphones. Anyway, yeah, it's been super awesome hanging out. Be nice to your mums. Mums are special. And call your mum. Call your mum. God, say thanks, mum. It's been super awesome hanging out. If you've got any questions, stick them in the thing. If you let me stick a comment. Like, what do you think of this format where I pull stuff apart and go through the design? Do I go into too much detail? Not enough detail? Is there anything that you'd like to see? Do you want it to be a bit snappier? Because I know my videos are normally quite long and windy. But yeah. Tell me how it's going. What do you think of these headphones? That kind of thing. Stick a comment. I reply to nearly all of them. I don't have that many followers. I can get back to most people. Stick a comment. I'll get back to you. What? Yeah, like the video, please, if you like it. Subscribe if you want to see more things being pulled apart. And yeah, it's just been nice, isn't it? It's just been nice to just chill out, pull a thing apart, see how it's made, see all the good bits inside. And yeah. Anyway, peace out. One love. You know how to make various cool noises. Yeah. Bye.